Underdog victory at the Hawaiian Pro. Big wave season is full on. Alessandro Marcianò joins the newsroom, plus Spindrift, X-Cats, Kata Cup. Now here is Mia Ceran. NC Sports, plunge into the action.
Welcome back for a brand new NC Sports edition with all the insight from the latest top events worldwide. I'm Mia Ceran and this week's program is on the surf beat with a very special guest. On top story, Wade Carmichael knocks out all WSL leaders at the Hawaiian Pro. Alessandro Marcianò is in studio for a close-up on the Big Wave Tour. Plus, WSL Finals. Spindrift 2 takes on the Jules Verne Trophy around the world. FedEx wins the Dubai GP on the X-Cats, Kata Cup in St. Barth, and so much more. Who doesn't love an underdog victory? Let's take a look at the unsponsored surfer Wade Carmichael's stunning performance at the Hawaiian Pro. Chalice Popke has the story.
Wade Carmichael just knocked off world number 2 Filipe Toledo at the Hawaiian Pro, making a leap from 59th to 13th in the qualifying series. This young Australian isn't even sponsored, but just took home the biggest result of his career. With a good finish at this week's World Cup, the second leg of the Triple Crown, Wade can qualify for the Championship Tour.
Well, my last 2 years here, I've had some alright results, and I just wanted to make the final and hopefully get some good waves. And I love the waves over here, and I just love doing some hacks, and I'm over the moon.
As anticipated, we're back here with big wave surfer Alessandro Marcianò. Welcome, Alessandro. Thanks for being here. So, we've just seen it can happen. An unsponsored athlete wins a major competition.
Yeah, I think the level now is really growing up, and a lot of surfers not sponsored now can be really dangerous for the pros. So this is the case.
Is this a good thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so do you like the qualifying series structure?
Qualifying structure is a bit complicated sometimes, but I think it's good because a lot of surfers can try to compete and find a new performance and meet other pro surfers. And sometimes the qualifying series produce a really good surfers.
Okay, so you're in favor, from what I understand. Okay, Alessandro, so let's take a look together at what the pros are tweeting about Carmichael's massive upsets. Okay, so let's start from Sally Fitzgibbons. Okay, so Aussie surfer in the 3rd place in the Women's Pro Tour. She sends out her Aussie pride. Huge congrats to our Aussie Wade Carmichael for claiming victory in the Hawaiian Pro Amazing Surfing. Aussie pride. Okay, so how important is for an athlete the support of the compatriots? And are you getting any from the Italians?
Yeah, a few. They start now in Nazareth. There's a little community, Italian community, and they start to follow me. And this one, but I think it's really important for the athletes have a support.
A support.
Yeah, it's really
from
important.
the country.
Yeah.
Because you also travel so much around, so you get homesick, don't you?
Yeah, I travel a lot, but always the people know that I'm real Italian because I always back to Rome where I live and Santa Marinella where I served, and so I have for sure support from Italy.
Now, moving on, let's take a look at Felipe Toledo, world number 2 and runner-up to Wade in the Hawaiian Pro. He congratulated Wade and the other finalists as well in the caption of his Instagram video. Let's take a look at it together. However, the video is pure Felipe. It's basically just him. Don't you think this is a bit self-centered, Alessandro?
Yeah, I know Felipe, not really well, but I know he's a Brazilian guy, and he's actually have a lot of pressure because he's probably for sure one of the best of the tour, and his performances are amazing, and the people want to watch this.
So he is self-centered, but it's because the people are watching.
Yeah, I think so. The people want to watch something like that.
They want to watch, obviously. Okay, so over on the World Surf League's article, the fans get heated about Felipe's loss. Anonymous says, and I quote, "The Australians, what a joke. Competitive surfing sucks." And then Caldegram defends the underdog. Money, okay, cash sign, are flowing Toledo and Medina's way. How much sponsorship has Wade had? Cheers. Okay, now, Alessandro, how important are sponsors in this sport?
I think the sponsors are really important because they can help the athletes to make something really good. Also, there's another current. People think that you can surf around the world, you can go around without sponsor, but I think it's not possible if you don't have a real support, financial support from sponsors. So if you want to do a real surf competition, you need, of course. If you want to do free surf, probably don't need this opportunity.
Sure. Well, before you leave, do you want to share with us your plans for the future? Ambitions, goals?
Actually, I'm focused on this new project, Red Chargers, and I'm training in big wave riding with Garrett McNamara, and my focus is for sure surf Nazareth big. It's an adventure for me, brand new adventure, and I'm happy to be part of this project.
Well, thank you for sharing this with us, and we'll get more on your story and the Red Chargers as well, which you mentioned in Portugal after the break. So for now, let's take a look at the MC Sports Briefs.
Massive wave conditions in the Emirates wreaked havoc last Saturday for the Dubai GP, the penultimate event of the 2015 XCAT season. With half of the 14 teams off the grid eventually forced to retire, Joaquin Kumlin and Alfredo Amato plowed at over 72 knots, taking the win for Italy on Videx. Ahead of compatriots Carpitella and Fendi on T-Bone Station and duo Altair Al-Mansouri on Abu Dhabi 5. Abu Dhabi 5 moved to just 1 point on the overall standing behind arch rivals Al Zafain and Bin Hendi on ex-Dubai, who did not finish in Dubai. It will come down to the All-Emirati final at the XCAT Abu Dhabi GP.
Belgians Patrick Demesmaeker and Oliver Galliani had been trying for 7 years straight, and finally, 2015 spelled success in the last Sunday at this year's St. Barthélemy Cup. Combining spectacular coastal races and Grand Prix regattas around the marks, this prime event for the F-18 catamarans has now reached its 8th edition and is already considered a classic amongst the top pros. The Belgian victory was also helped along by the complete downfall of the French duo Aurélien Martin and Charles Gate, who had led the scores thanks to 3 solid first places, but could not stay consistent, adding to 2 10th places and an OCS. France teams both filled second and third places, with Bontemps and Amiot completing the podium on solid results.
Maxi Trimaran Spindrift 2 is now racing southbound in the Atlantic Ocean on the chase for the prestigious Jules Verne Trophy. Skippered by pro sailing couple Jan Gouchard and Donna Bartarelli, the team has managed to reach the equator in under 4 days and well ahead of the previous record. With an over 300 nautical mile advantage, Spindrift 2 is in fact the ex-Banque Populaire 5, the very same beast that set the astonishing time of 54 days, 13 hours, and 42 minutes, back in 2012, with Loïc Peyron. Refitted and improved for speed, the Swiss team is now holding average speeds above 28 knots.
SC Sports will be right back after the break with Mia and Alessandro for more big wave surfing insight. Plunge into the action with SC Sports.
So we're back in studio with Alessandro Marcianò. Welcome back again. Thanks for being with us. And now we're going to take a closer look at your career.
Alessandro Marcianò is from Santa Severa, a seaside town outside of Rome. Previously a windsurfing champion, he switched to surfing in 1996. Among other achievements, Alessandro is the over 40 Grandmaster champion of this year's Twins and Fins tournament in Portugal. He is also the only Italian surfer invited to the Red Chargers Big Wave Contest in Nazaré, Portugal. The competition lasts from November 1st until February 28th. It was in Nazaré that Garrett McNamara set the world record for the biggest wave ever surfed at over 27 meters. And it is McNamara himself that invited Alessandro to participate in Red Chargers. The two met in 2014 at the Italian Surf Expo, which Alessandro has organized for 17 years in his hometown. He's joining us here in the studio today on a break from the Red Chargers competition.
Alessandro, a big wave surfer from Rome. Not very common. Will you tell us how it all began?
Yeah, it's not common because I come from, Santa Marinella is a place where we are small waves, and sometimes we don't have waves every day. Always try to find a good place in the world to surf.
But how did you start?
In a big waves?
Well, just surfing.
Surfing, I just started in the beginning with windsurfing, really. 80s was the boom of windsurf in Italy, and I started to practice with my father, just like tandem, something like that. It was super fun. But after a few years, I discovered surfing, and it immediately love for me. And I started to compete also, and I surf around the world. So this one for me was the best.
Well, we've said it's not very common to have surfers from Rome, but there's another very important name, which is Leonardo Fioravanti, and I'm sure you know him and you've seen the latest results. What do you think?
Yeah, Leo is a really little bro, and I'm super happy talking for him because he won the junior world titles. He is Italian and now is on top of the world, and I'm super happy for him. And crazy because we come from the same place. I'm older, you know, but he's super young, and I'm sure that he can arrive in a top ranking of the world for sure the next year.
You mentioned it earlier. Can you tell us a little more about this Red Chargers competition?
Yeah, Red Charger competition is a new concept of event. It's not a real contest, it's something different. Garrett McNamara, with a big support from Mercedes AMG, they built this new event in Nazaré, Portugal, in the place where there are the biggest waves in the world. The mission is from 1st November to end of February, show the biggest whale that come in winter time. So this is something new and the first edition, and I'm super stoked to be part of this event because he invited me as an Italian surfer. So
Alessandro, when will the competition continue in Nazaré, and what are the dates when you expect the top conditions?
The window period is from November to February. I know already that next Sunday and Monday, big swell coming. So for 3 days before, we can know when arrive the big waves.
The level of the competitors on the Big Wave Tour has always been huge, we've said that. But what are your personal goals for the Red Chargers competition?
For this year, just be part of this group is really important for me to understand and watching what happening really out there. Because you know, I'm Italian, I come from land where we don't have really big waves, and for me this is really challenging. So I wanna just surf big, but I don't know really.
Okay, Alessandro, these waves can reach 30 meters. That's impressive. Can you tell us about the actual danger that you go through and the fear factor as well?
Yeah, these waves is really, really powerful, and can be also bigger than 30 meters. Probably this year with El Niño effect can be bigger. So the danger is that there are a lot of dangers because you have to go out with a jet ski, something can be wrong, and the easy part of the story is surfing the wave. The other rest is something really hard to do. For example, wipe out can be really dangerous because you can dive for a lot of time, and you need something floatable to get out, as a jacket, a special jacket, and a special wetsuit and special equipment.
And there's also rescue teams that help you in case you need.
Yeah, of course. The team is the most important thing. For example, when I go out with Garrett McNamara 1st November, Garrett pushed me in the wave, but there was Andrew Cotton and Hugo Vau with other jet ski at the end of the way waiting for me, and it was really safety because I just finished the wave, and the second jet ski rescue you and get out immediately, so it's the perfect combination. Of course, sometimes it's not possible because if you go down in the takeoff, so the jet ski can bring you, and can be a really heavy moment and fear moment.
Well, let's move to smaller waves, and let's listen together to two girls that I'm sure you know very well, who are now facing each other for the world title at the Maui Pro.
You know, I love pressure. The people that train me and all this stuff are like, the more pressure the better, and I don't mind it. You know, it's definitely been different dealing with it in a heat and experiencing it, but I welcome it.
Every year is a clean slate, and you know, I'm excited about having the last event at Honolulu Bay, but I'm also kind of nervous, you know, looking at the swell charts. It looks like right now there's not much on the horizon, and so, you know, we may have pretty small bay, we may have really big bay, just, you know, who knows what's gonna happen. We might even end up at Ho'okipa on the north side of the island, so.
So, Alessandro, women's surfing has really peaked over the last 5 years and it's finally reaching mainstream. So, Carissa versus Courtney, do you want to place a bet?
I think Carissa, I know her, I surf with her, and I remember she's a really animal. And she's local also, and probably she get a win.
Okay, so that's your prediction. And let's move to the guys' side now. What do you see happening at Pipeline next month?
Pipeline is really challenging, and I don't know, my favorite surfer is Mick Fanning, so I hope that Mick can get the 3rd world title, and I hope for him. But the other guys also are really close to him. But my bet is on Mick Fanning.
Well, thank you for joining us, Alessandro. It was an honor having you here this week.
Thank you very much.
And now let's take a look at the exclusive series Sail Ho, airing on Nautical channel this week.
Sail Ho takes you to the most beautiful places on the Croatian coast. In episode 7, which airs this Monday at 9:30, explore the historical city of Zadar. This special little town is home to the biggest marina in Croatia. Tune in for hidden coves, beautiful beaches, local cuisine, and an inside look at the ancient city of Nin.
Lots happening on the world's ocean this week. Let's take a look at the NC Sports calendar.
The Noumea Dream Cup will close the PWA season with the very last slalom competition in New Caledonia this weekend. Italy's Matteo Iachino leads the overall scorers, but French veterans Albo and Mortefon will be on his tail. Sarah Cuito Fringa is the one to beat on the ladies' court, but this year at the Ansevata Beach, she will have to counter Turkey's Erbikol, Kublat, Unlu, and Delphine Cousin from France. Like every season, Russell Kautz's very own sailing circuit, the RC44, has moved to warmer waters for the Virgin Gorda Cup, also held this weekend in the Caribbean. Russia has dominated in 2015, placing 2 boats on top of the overall fleet racing leaderboard, with Nika and Bronenosek. The UK's Team Aqua and Charisma from Monaco could break that spell. Bronenosek also leads the match racing ahead of the Swedes of Artemis, and again, Team Aqua in 3rd. One of the world's greatest boat shows, the Nautique 2015, will be kicking off in Paris next week from December 15th to the 13th. Expectation is mounting for the first peek at the very latest releases in power and sailing, as well as for the top accessories and tech novelties presented at the fairgrounds of Salon de Versailles. A number of events for the entire family are already on the calendar at Nautique, and thousands are expected. The world's sailing greats are meeting in Geneva this December from the 7th to the 8th for the Yacht Racing Forum. This leading annual conference dedicated to the sailing and yacht racing industry will touch the key areas of business and marketing, design and technology, risk management, and safety.
That's all the time we have, but we'll be back next week with another packed edition. Thanks for watching, and remember, plunge into the action with NC Sports.